Welcome, everyone. We're here at the Strive305 podcast. Again, super excited. Every week it seems like we get better and better guests, more famous. Today we're here with Commissioner Eileen Higgins. We're going to get to her, but first, let me tell you a couple of things. Okay, Strive305. The purpose of Strive305, like I say every week, to help small businesses, to provide them with a place to come and look at and find your business issues, solve your business issues. Oh my God, I just hit the mic. Did I scare everybody?
No.
Sorry about that. All right, so our biggest tool, strive305hub.com. Remember, that's where you want to go to get your information for any business questions you have. You're going to see Commissioner Eileen Higgins. She has her own initiative. We're really excited about announcing that as well. I got to say a big thank you to Wells Fargo. Never done it for you before, you guys. So thank you, Wells Fargo. Without them and their investment into this wouldn't even be here. And what else? We're coming soon to XM Radio, so we're going to be national. It's another big exciting thing.
Slam 145, right?
Slam 145 channel.
Yeah.
So we'll announce when that's actually happening. They've been telling us every week, but they're torturing us with the using graduation as an excuse. But we'll take care of that. We'll let you know. What else? We got Spanish. We have a Spanish podcast now live. We've had 2 episodes already. For those of you that don't want to have to hear me or Irvans, you can go to your Spanish one. And you'll love that one. And then we have a Creole one. That one you may see Irvan's guest visit every time, so you might every once in a while. So you'll get stuck with him too. And I didn't even introduce Irvans Augustin, our co-host here, the best co-host, Commissioner. Yes, how good looking is this guy?
Yeah, he's very good looking.
Super good looking.
I mean, especially today, because usually I'm your competition, but now I have my little skin cancer that I had to cut off, so I have my patch on my nose. So you win today, but next time, get ready.
Thank you for saying that, because everybody's going to assume that I hit her. But I did not. And my name is Tico Casamayor. I'm the other co-host, but you don't want to even listen to me. All right, District 5. That's your district, Commissioner.
Absolutely.
Is this right? Brickell, Miami Beach, Coral Way neighborhood, and Little Havana?
Yeah,
all those
downtown as well.
Downtown? Wow, that's crazy. All right, cool. There's some businesses that I want to highlight because our job also is to highlight small businesses. So I'm going to throw 5 at you this time. We got Purple Orchid. That's one of yours.
Fabulous spot. And she's expanded to so many new locations, started in District 5, and it's now all over the county and even in Broward.
Spectacular. We're going to have her on here. She's on the list. Pure Water Factory?
Yes, another very innovative concept and super fantastic. District 5.
Love it. Again, we'll be here. Azúcar ice cream. That sounds appealing.
Everybody knows Azúcar.
Well, everybody knows Azúcar. And so do I, a little more frequently than probably is ideal for my health.
You have to go back.
Delightful. They actually just launched their White Lotus flavors for the summer. So
White Lotus.
I like it. Well, ice cream goes great with our sponsor today, which is BB's Bakehouse, and their beautiful, delicious cookies. And if you look in the front, everybody, that one is the famous Tico double chocolate chip poop emoji cookie. If you ever go to BB's, you ask for the Tico poop emoji cookie, you get a free espresso. Make sure to tell the owner. But you got to call it the Tico double chocolate chip poop emoji cookie. I just put that nationally, by the way. The BB's Bakehouse.
What was the other one you had with the
Dubai.
The Dubai chocolate?
Double chocolate chip Dubai cookie, which is a new thing now.
That was ridiculous.
And inside has got a little bit of green. It's like green poop in the middle. Spectacular. Makes it crunchy. Oh,
I thought this was a G-rated podcast.
No, PG. PG with a PG-13 splash in there. Okay, now I want to mention 2 other businesses because it's pretty funny. I realized this morning in the shower, as I'm going, wait a second. Could it be possible that they're in her district?
This is where you have all your deep thoughts?
This is where my thoughts, this is where I wish I could do this in the shower because I would really be smart. I'd be like,
it would not be PG.
No.
No, we go. Okay, so Continental RX. It's a pharmacy that's been 50 years and it's in your district as well.
Right on the corner.
That's my brother-in-law, Javier Peral. He hates when I mention his name because he thinks he's Tom Cruise. He thinks since he was a police officer for 10 years. He was a police officer for 10 years back in the 80s. And he doesn't want anybody to know that he exists or anything like that because he thinks, but all the people that can come and get him have to be dead by now. So it doesn't matter. But yeah, so for 10 years, he was a City of Miami police. And then he's been the owner of this when he took over for his father and they've been there for 50 years. So I go, wow, I can't believe it. And then the other one is my actual brother, Luis Casamayor and George Plasencia, which I believe they're neighbors in your office, República Havas.
Yeah, right across the street from where our office is. And over the weekend, they revealed the new beautiful logo for the Freedom Tower, because this year is the 100th anniversary of the Freedom Tower. And the college, Miami-Dade College, is doing a huge renovation. And going along with that, is beautiful new branding to invite
It
people
was really
into the new
cool.
museum.
I actually really did
You
like
were
it.
there?
Yeah, I was there at the event
Yeah,
for
thanks
Miami
for
Dade
inviting
College.
me and taking me with you.
Yeah, well,
You were embarrassed. You were
I
embarrassed of
I
your
got
clothes?
voluntold and I just showed up. My wife told me to get dressed, and I was like,
And go.
okay, where are we going?
Oh, she took you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then I forgive you. All right, you're good. Okay, yeah. So that whatever. Those are my two
yeah.
connected businesses with you. We've actually done work together in the past through my
Really?
printing company. So all very exciting. So really, I'm super excited to have her here, and I can't wait to hear the conversation and learn about everything. One of the things that she has, Amber, you can cue the video if you want, is her initiative, right? Elevate District 5.
Yeah.
So what we did for you, if you see here on the screen, Commissioner, on the Strive305 website, on the hub, we added you as one of our resources. So if a business will go in there under business resources, you click, you're just going to scroll down, and all you have to do is enter Higgins. I just entered Higgins. You can enter Commission, you can enter District 5, and poof,
It all pops up.
it'll pop up, and then your initiative, they have access. They can either click on the district top line and send in a contact form, or we have also the link direct to your website.
It's fantastic.
So you're now a official Strive 305 resource. Your initiative is?
I've been promoted to actual resource.
You go, there you go. Then
You've always been a resource.
we get her to your website. There
Yeah.
you see her without her nose thing. So
Exactly.
because you want to know what she looks like. Okay, so those are all my announcements for today. Now,
Oh, those are great.
Commissioner, you get to hear the famous Miami Minute by Irvans, which
Okay.
is always full of. I know you send me an email on them, but I don't like to look at them because I like to see them here live. Last week's
Surprise.
was spectacular. So let's see what you got for us today.
All right, what we got today? Welcome to the Miami Minute, a bite-sized insights, Miami history, and fun facts to power your day. Today, we got a special edition for the Miami Minute in honor of our guest, Miami-Dade County Commissioner Eileen Higgins, who, for fun fact, is also an engineer. When people think of Miami, they usually picture sun, sand, and fun, but behind the palm trees and Art Deco pastels, is pastels or pastels? I never say it right. Is a city built on bold ideas and serious engineering. So today, we're going to spotlight a few of the most impressive engineering feats, because there's actually a lot, that helped shape Miami into the world-class city it is today. So we're going to start off with the Port of Miami. The Port of Miami literally moves millions. It was built on Dodge Island and is one of the largest and busiest passenger ports on the planet. It moves over 7.2 million people a year and contributes over $43 billion to the local economy and features 9 cruise terminals, state-of-the-art cargo cranes, and now shore power to reduce emissions. It's built on a small, tight island real estate, and it's a masterclass in balancing scale, sustainability, and innovation. Next up is the Port of Miami Tunnel. Getting all those passengers and trucks to and from the port without clogging downtown streets, that's where the Miami Tunnel comes in. Opened in 2014, this $1 billion, 4,200-foot undersea tunnel runs underneath the Biscayne Bay and connects MacArthur Causeway directly to the port. It handles 16,000 vehicles daily, including heavy cargo and trucks. It was built using a 43-foot boring machine, one of the most complex tunneling projects in Florida history. And bonus, it actually includes hurricane-proof floodgates and has a minimal impact. I lived in downtown, so it did have some impact, but nowhere near as much impact on the traffic as it could have when they were actually building it. And then we're going to move and zoom out a little bit, literally, to the Overseas Highway, which stretches 113 miles from Miami to Key West, and it leapfrogs across the ocean on 42 different bridges, including the legendary 7-Mile Bridge. It was built in the 1920s, and it was constructed on the bones of Henry Flagler's railroad and turned the Keys into a tourism magnet. Today, it's one of the most scenic drives on Earth and one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects still standing ever attempted over open ocean. And finally, from sea to skyline. Let's talk about one of Miami's most striking buildings, 1000 Museum, which is also nicknamed, which I didn't know, the Scorpion Tower. It was designed by the late legendary architect Zaha Hadid. And this 62-story residential tower was completed in 2018 and instantly became an icon. Its nickname comes from the building's bold exoskeleton design, which curves around the structure like a scorpion's claw. But it's not just for the looks. This exoskeleton is made up of over 5,000 custom designed pieces made of glass fiber reinforced concrete, most of which had to be shipped in from Dubai. The design reduces the need for interior columns, which allow them to create a massive columnless interior space, which also makes the building more resistant to hurricane force winds. And last, its foundation goes 170 feet deep, one of the deepest ever built in Miami's soft limestone, making it not just a design statement, but a true engineering powerhouse. And that's your Miami Minute. Miami was never built to play safe, and these feats prove it. And from underwater tunnels to bridges over the sea to sky-high scrapers, these engineering feats are. What am I reading? This engineers the impossible again and again, and that's really how Miami came to be. We love hearing your thoughts. If you got a topic you want us to cover, just let us know, and we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay cool, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.
For the Miami Minute, we're still here.
Minute.
Yeah, we're still here.
You're an engineer?
I'm an engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer.
Oh, very
My dad's a civil engineer. My brother's a civil engineer. So when I was growing up, my dad used to give us career advice, and he would say to me, well, you could be an engineer or you could be a physicist. And I thought, well,
just those two choices.
Pretty much, because he used to describe everyone else as like, yeah, there are people that do other things, but he didn't understand what those were. And so I thought, well, I don't really want to become a physicist because I probably won't have any friends. So I became an engineer, and I do have friends. So there you go.
It's funny. The owner of BB's Big House, the husband, is an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
So we can start a company together. And after you're done with your
this is
political
it.
career.
Sounds good.
And also, like, I don't think many people do know that you're also a small business owner, or you still do?
Yeah, no. I've sold the small business I had, but I grew up in a small business family. My father started. He and his business partner started an engineering and science research firm. I was about 12 years old, and I remember when they started. They rented their office space. It was the two of them. Harry's wife was at the time people had secretaries, right? And you had actual phones that had to be answered. And I used to walk there after school I used to do things. That was back in the days you would write checks. I used to run errands. But I remember as the company started to expand, and now it's been quite successful, we used to, whenever we would get a new employee, we would build the furniture for that person's office in the backyard.
Oh. Wow.
It was not very nice furniture, but the company just couldn't afford to go to a shop and buy office furniture. And so we would just hang out in the backyard, barbecue, and build furniture.
You were IKEA before IKEA.
We were. Probably not as talented, but that's how you do it when you're just getting started. You bootstrap just about everything. And so I got, as a kid, to see how my father did that and how he successfully grew his business over the years to be quite large. At the end of the day, when he finally retired, they had over 1,000 employees around the country.
Wow.
So
That's an amazing story. But it also does really highlight and explain, like, now you as a commissioner, your focus from the beginning. One of the things, like, when I first met the commissioner, she actually walks her community, and she actually uses public transportation, and she actually gets out there. But then when she first got elected to the office, I was really happy and interested to see how focused she was on small business. But this explains it. And so it's been an interesting evolution of how you evolved and kind of just stepped into this space. And actually, you might just highlight some of the things that you're doing for small businesses in your...
Yeah. So it's interesting. If you ask our friends at FIU, who are probably smarter than all of us, there's over 80,000 businesses in Miami-Dade County that have less than 10 employees. And what that means is our economy is really driven.
It's not even small, it's micro businesses.
It's micro businesses, right? Yeah. These are not 50, 100, sometimes even 500 person firms are considered a small business. These are really micro businesses, many of which have been started by immigrants. They're locally owned. They're very small. So I personally believe that our economy doesn't exist if our small businesses don't survive and thrive. And what we saw during COVID was they really struggled. And I grew up in such a family, right? So small business owners are amazingly independent.
Yeah.
And they're even more independent here because so many of them are immigrants. And that takes a lot to leave where you were from, come somewhere new, start from scratch, make your own way with your own business. So very independent. But then COVID hit, and all of a sudden, they were desperate. They really didn't know where to turn for resources. And I think you all know, because you do this podcast, and I know because I work for Miami-Dade County, there are resources available. Many of those resources are available at no cost. But these small business owners were not connected to each other, and they were not connected to these resources. So when President Biden passed the American Rescue Plan, each commissioner was allowed to have $2 million to invest in community projects. And I chose to invest in the creation of a program called Elevate District 5. The word elevate was very intentional. It was all about elevating the skills and capacity of our small business owners and elevate their access to capital. So once they have the skills to expand, they actually can access financial resources
actually be able
to implement that expansion. And it's been pretty amazing. I guess we just turned into June, but this past May was the 3rd year anniversary. We launched in Small Business Week, which is always in May. It's 3 years. It's the 3rd anniversary. And we've already had 750 businesses participate, had 41 workshops and classes, again, free, at no cost other than the person's time. And we've given out well over 600 grants and loans to these businesses. And it's amazing to watch them network together.
Yeah.
They now do business with each other. Yeah. Like this one was learning how to be a better marketer, and now they're doing the marketing for this firm that is an international logistics firm. And they are now connected to each other as resources and connected to the broader resources of the county from all kinds of organizations, Prospera, right? Access Helps. We've got the Small Business Association, the Rise Miami-Dade revolving loan fund. I could go on and on about organizations that can help small business owners. So if you're a small business owner out there, don't feel alone. You are connected to resources. The county has them. We support them. You just need to call us and we'll help you find the resource to learn what you need to know, like artificial intelligence, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, 2 years ago when I started Elevate District 5, nobody was talking about that.
That's all anybody's talking about now.
And so we can't ignore it.
No.
Some people are afraid of it, but change happens. You can either be afraid or you can say, how am I going to be part of this and not fall behind? And if small businesses fall behind on artificial intelligence, they will be left behind forever and be left out of the economy. So we've started 2 programs for District 5 business owners. One is artificial intelligence for marketing and communications. And I think we've finished our 3rd cohort of those folks. And the idea behind that is, how do you use artificial intelligence to automate and make it easier and faster to do the things you're doing anyway as an owner? And that frees up time for you to work on more strategic things. And then we have another more robust program for different sorts of businesses about artificial intelligence and operations, right? Because how do you make logistics work faster? How do you automate process? Yes, it's much more intensive, and it's not single faceted just on communications and marketing.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Now we've got 100 and something businesses that have gone through that. And guess what? Those people are no longer afraid of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
AI is saving them money, saving them time, and getting them customers and improving their customer service. So all of these things exist in Miami-Dade County, and I'm really proud of the work of my team.
No, you totally should
in
be.
District 5 to do this stuff.
That's good. And I think we should, I mean, you already showed that some of the resources are on there, but we should just make sure, like, all these lists, make sure that they're all listed up on the Strive305 website, because I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And I know I'm not supposed to talk too much, but everything that you just said now is like the most exciting news for me, because it's hard to get that out and let people know that all this, because they hear it from me and they're like, oh, yeah, that's what everybody says. But to have it coming from you. And then so many things you said I connected with when you had the small business, that you were young and your father had you working there. I remember the same thing. Small business. My father had me taking the tile off the front room because he didn't like it. It was a black tile. So I remember hammering the tile and then growing through the business all the way through, from making the coffee to buying the paper, every little thing. So that I connect with. Then you talked about your initiative, which is very similar to what Strive305 is trying to do for the county, in a big scale. But it's great. I mean, I would love to be in your district hearing everything that you're helping. During COVID, all my friends disappeared. All my small business restaurants disappeared.
So many.
I got lucky. The reason we survived is we got lucky because we had a pharmaceutical client that sent us a letter. No, you're essential. You closed down. You heard our line, and then they kept us working. So that saved us. If not, I would the same thing because all the other clients were gone. The only thing I had was pharmaceutical during that time. Yeah. So that part of it, the grants, the mom and pop grant that's out there. I never knew about that until now.
There's still a lot of businesses don't know that they can apply for grants.
Yes, and grants you don't pay back. Right. You have to use them for your business and just prove it, and that's it.
And it's also not complicated because we've looked at the process. It's not hard to apply.
The commissioners are the ones that make it easier, easy for us. You guys are the ones that show us how to do it.
I will tell you, in my district, we've used them more intentionally because when I first got elected, the only small business program we had for year one was the mom and pop program. And now, because of Elevate District 5, Mom and Pop is your starter program. Because since that time, I've created 2 revolving loan funds that are specifically dedicated to small business owners in our county. They cannot be used outside of our county. So the first...
So throughout the county or just in your district?
There's 2. One is just in my district. One is countywide.
Oh, wow.
So Rise Miami-Dade Fund. I started this during the pandemic. We seeded it with ARPA money, $25 million. It now has almost $30 million in revolving funds that are only for small businesses from Miami-Dade County, and the Dade Federal Credit Union administers that. So they have a beautiful website for the Rise Miami-Dade Fund. And I remember when I was starting this during COVID, people were like, you're insane. It's never going to revolve. Just give them a grant. Well, there were small business owners that didn't want a grant. They were very proud, right? They wanted to be able to pay it back.
More than you would think, yeah.
It's, and which is very admirable. And because we worked with CDFIs, the kind of local financial institutions, they understand what a successful small business looks like. Like a big bank is going to say, who the heck is this person? They have this tiny business, there's 10 employees. But we know if you've been operating in our county for 4 years, and you've been paying your bills and paying your employees and paying your staff, that's a good business. And so we took a risk on those. We gave them loans, some of them up to $30,000. And our default rate on those returns are lower than the big banks.
Wow.
So we know our businesses very well. And so as a result, those funds have revolved and they're available to other businesses. What I did in my district was I created the New Heights Microloan Fund. Much smaller. You can only borrow money up to $10,000. What we did with that,
New Heights?
New Heights Microloan. And we wanted the businesses, again, we want to know these businesses. We want to coach them. We want them to feel part of something. So in order to apply for that, you have to have participated in at least one Elevate District 5 program. What that means is you as a business owner show you care about the capacity building. You've taken the Financial Masterworks class. You've taken artificial intelligence. You've taken a scale-up class, whatever it is. So we personally know you. Then we work with Partners for Self-Employment. They administer this loan, and you can get up to $10,000. But what's interesting about all of this, let me bring it back to Mom and Pop. Mom and Pop is essentially, it's a grant. You don't have to pay it back. But businesses learn what's needed to be registered. You've got to have your business tax receipt. You've got to be registered with the county or the municipality. Let's say if you live in the city of Miami, you have to be registered with the city because you can't apply for it unless you are registered. And we're not doing that to be bossy. We're saying, now you're a legitimate business, and that opens up all kinds of other resources, including these other loan programs. The New Heights Fund, the RISE Fund, Small Business Association. Then, of course, you have all kinds of, banks, Wells Fargo, TD, but there's a bunch of them that are that next level. But you got to start somewhere. So Mom and Pop is where you start. You learn how to fill out the paperwork. Then you get a loan. That gives the business credit, right? Not you, the human. The business has credit. And then you move up. And that's how we were talking about our friends at Purple Orchid. Right, when I met her, I think she had 1 location. I don't know how many she has now, but all of that has been learning how to scale responsibly, because we see it all the time. Businesses expand to too many locations and then they implode because they can't manage the cash flow. So this is all about growing, but growing responsibly and in a way that keeps your business thriving.
No, it's amazing.
The Mom and Pop grant that you mentioned, I shared it in my district with a few businesses. And 100%. Most of them didn't have their local business tax license. They didn't even know that it existed. They had the county one. In my case, Miami Lakes, they didn't know Miami Lakes had the business tax license as well, that you had to have as a separate register. Very inexpensive. It's not an expensive license, but it's required. And this kind of thing will teach you to have that. And then you could also then take it to the next level and become a vendor, register to be a vendor for Miami-Dade County.
Absolutely.
Which most people don't even do, not thinking, oh, they'll never send anything. I'm a registered vendor. I'm a registered minority business, and I'm constantly getting projects that I could bid on from them. And I would have never even thought of it. And sometimes not even in printing. Printing is obviously something everybody, order. But I'll get random things, application, build an app, or marketing, or all these different things that are available out there.
Yeah, that's another thing we've been doing in the past 4 months. We've run 2 classes as part of the Elevate District 5 in how to become a county vendor. And just doing workshops. And what's interesting, there is a big alliance. It's called the Anchor Alliance.
Yes.
In the county, which is all the big places that hire, the hospitals, Miami-Dade College, the universities, Miami-Dade County, the big cities. And because basically, if you learn to be qualified as a vendor for one of these big organizations, it's pretty easy to get qualified at the others. Right. And I think the ultimate goal of the Anchor institution is to have a common application. So that if you become a vendor of, for example, Baptist Hospital, you'd automatically be able to use that same paperwork at University of Miami or Miami-Dade College. So that's the holy grail.
That would be wonderful. Just filling out those applications.
No, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Takes a long time.
But to be a registered vendor for the county is not difficult at all.
Not at all.
Very simple. Look, I even have, funny enough, I have the flyer. In case nobody believes, I was looking at this yesterday because there's one of my businesses is not registered. And this is it, this little flyer. My account executive over there, Rachel, did this in like 20 minutes and registered us. Right, Rachel? Is it done? Have you checked? Please confirm that I'm registered. I don't want people looking me up.
Exactly.
But it's that simple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. Thanks so much for sharing those. And just kind of looking forward, you've set up some of these amazing things, but kind of looking forward for yourself. Like, were you interested in taking some of these other things? I feel like it feels like you're just getting started. There's so much more I feel you could do here.
Yeah, I feel like there is. I do think this field of automation is really opening up. And now that we've laid the groundwork with the basic IA training, there's more that can be done. The Scale Up program is something I'm particularly proud of because we end up with these businesses entering in the one-off programs, Financial Masterworks, Tech Masterworks, But then the Scale Up program is very intensive. We do the Spanish language in the morning, English language in the afternoon, and then everybody has lunch together. But that's a very intensive 12-week program.
Yeah.
And these businesses are the businesses that are really ready to grow and thrive. And some of them have expanded overseas. Some of them expanded, to multiple locations or just grown. And so I'd really like to see that grow.
You need more of this outside of your district too,
Yes, well, I would love to take this outside my district, but that would be poaching. So I stay in my District 5. And by the way, I have 7,000 businesses in District 5. So
7,000?
Yeah, so we've only had 10% of them participate. So people in District 5, call us.
Reach out to your commissioner, folks.
Reach out to us. So we were only at the 10%, whatever that.
Yeah.
Take up, whatever. There's a fancier word for that I'm not thinking of yet. But
the AI, which I know is, like you said, a lot of people are afraid of it. I'll give you a little example of something that I was watching yesterday because we all have a marketing company as well with my son. You can, an AI, you can set it up so that your CRM, customer relations management software, whatever you have, you connect it to an AI.
Yeah.
You can have that be your receptionist. As simple as having an AI be your receptionist. Oh, but it sounds like a robot. It does not.
It does not.
It's 24/7. It'll answer the phone at any time. It has 7 or 8 languages. So it'll determine the language. It's got to speak to the person and it'll talk to them. Now, you can set up, if you have a business like a dentist, to set up appointments. It will do your calendar, do your appointments. I'm considering doing it for myself because I've been getting so busy hanging out with you lately, Irvans. Yeah, having an AI girl answer the phone. Okay, yes, Tico Casamayor is available. And we can it's that automated and that realistic, and it will have a conversation with you. I would set up mine to say, hey, this is an automated system so that they know I don't want to try to trick the people, but it will handle 90% of the situation.
And it
situation.
and the thing is like it frees you up. I think it's not necessarily about replacing people. Right. It'll replace the people that don't use it. And so I commend you for just letting people lean into it and creating space for them to.
Yeah. Well, one of the things on that fear piece, just to brag on our county a little bit, we were the first county in America. We even beat Silicon Valley to have an artificial intelligence policy. Because when AI started to come out, there was all this talk about the people who are afraid of it, and then there's all this talk of the people that think it can do absolutely everything.
Right.
And the reality is there's a sweet spot in the middle.
It's right in the middle.
Particularly for government, right? Government is different from what the private sector can do because we're here to serve the people. And so I wrote legislation that did a couple of things. One, it made us come up with a task force that put together an AI policy that was forward-looking. When are we going to use this? How are we going to use it? Like predictive maintenance on a bus, right? We say we're going to change the tires every 3 months, but you can use AI to say, you know what, this one could wait a week and this one is going earlier than 3 months, that kind of thing. How are we going to use that? What are the guardrails we're going to put around this to protect personal information? And then what are we going to do to make sure that our workforce is not afraid and that our workforce is upskilled? And so we have been very fortunate. We've partnered particularly with Miami-Dade College, but also with FIU. We have a number of free classes that our employees can go through to get certified in artificial intelligence, how to use that. And recently, our IT department did a survey of our employees, and basically at the 80% level, they're not afraid of artificial intelligence. So when you make it clear to your employees, this is not about replacing you, this is about making you more efficient at your job and harnessing technology, and you give them the skills and training and information they need to use it, they have confidence in this. And so I encourage all small business owners to spend a little time on YouTube, get educated, do online, listen to a couple podcasts.
Go to a D5
come to a D5 workshop. We'll have them. And don't panic about it. Begin to put framework around it and then try it to do one thing.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
Of course, don't watch the new Mission Impossible movie because that will scare you because, of course, the villain in this movie is AI. So you don't want to.
3 hours?
I heard
it's 3 hours long. I haven't seen it yet. So.
It's Tom or Ethan Hunt against AI technology. Okay. But he wins in the end, so we're good.
Yeah, he always wins, so we don't have to worry
AI
about it.
Can't run.
AI can't run.
Sorry if I ruined the movie for anybody.
What is this, spoilers? You're going to have to put a warning.
I was afraid.
Everybody knows Tom's going to run. He runs.
I was afraid we were going to have a James Bond moment, where they kill off Ethan Hunt. But no, I'll let you know that doesn't happen because they can't. They have to do Mission Impossible 9. I'm already waiting for it. He said he's going to go till he's 100 years old, so we're good.
That's what I heard.
Wait, it's going to be like in Century Village?
With a walker.
They're going to film Mission Impossible: The Villages, I guess.
It'll be AI technology. It'll be his voice, but it'll be speaking of AI.
On a golf cart.
Tom on a golf cart.
Speaking of AI, the Ron Burgundy in my ear is telling me that we're over time, so...
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about anything else? Because I have the power to let us keep going.
What do you want to talk about?
Not shutting up. I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble because Amber over there gets mad at me.
I thought you were in control of everything.
We could keep going.
You're Ron Burgundy.
Well, I'm gonna say.
Is there any topics or issues that you haven't had a chance to mention yet?
I think there's a lot of interesting things that the county's doing. One area where we're trying to innovate very deeply on is the reduction of single-use plastics. And we recently passed legislation. If you're going to do business with the county to the greatest extent possible, you have to try to eliminate single-use plastics. And we did not make this change quickly. We did an experiment at our zoo. Our zoo is completely plastic-free. When you drink out of what looks like a plastic cup, it's compostable. The plates are compostable, everything. There's no plastic water bottles. Everything is in aluminum. So we did that experiment for several years. It can be done.
Several years. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so when you go to the zoo, you don't have to worry about anything not being, the microplastics. Yeah. And of course, it's very important, particularly for turtles and wildlife. And so now we're expanding that. So slowly but surely, as our new contracts come in place, the vendors that will be there will be embracing with the county the use of and the elimination of all of these horrible microplastics. So small businesses that participate in these things, they're going to be innovating as well.
And if they're already doing that now, that gives them a little bit of a leg up to
And they'll also be on an equal playing field, right? Because now if you want to do the right thing, you're bidding against somebody that might not want to,
right.
that wants to just do styrofoam. And styrofoam obviously is
up.
horrifically destructive to our beautiful water and the wildlife that live in it. So that's something very exciting, and we're very proud of that. And go visit the zoo. That's another action item.
Ron Miguel Zoo?
Yeah, well, it happens to be the Miami-Dade County Zoo.
I
Ron
know,
McGill is the most famous.
I don't know why I feel like he's family. I hear him
He
every
is
week.
family.
He's actually related to or friends with someone that I know. But I hear him every week on a show, so it's like I feel like it's my friend.
But go to the zoo. You can buy water. You don't have to worry. You'll never be around a single-use plastic.
I hear he has a very big endowment too.
He does a good job. He raises money to make sure that, that wildlife, both here and around the world, are really cared for and preserved. It's his passion.
Yeah, I love it. Wow, maybe we can get him one day on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? You totally should.
No stress.
I think that's a good way to end it.
Yeah,
go to the zoo.
Go to the zoo.
Go to the zoo.
Take a day off from your small business and go to the zoo.
There's something else that Strive305, our Strive305 program has, and I forgot to mention it earlier. Maybe you know a little bit more, but I know that they're doing, they're meeting with the public now. We have satellite offices or offices once a month, every Thursday or every last Thursday of the month.
Yeah.
I know that we have it in downtown, North Dade, South Dade, an incubator office, whatever that means. And West Dade County is coming soon, where every Thursday they're holding meetings for small businesses where an ambassador will be there to answer questions.
Yes.
Look it up on the website. I'm sorry I don't have more information. I didn't.
Yeah, we can show.
But I know that we can do that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's really a cool thing to, again, part of it. Maybe we'll put one in District 5, an office over there.
We totally should.
Well, downtown
she's in downtown.
I'm in downtown.
Oh, downtown.
She is downtown.
Well, I was trying to say her office because it's across the street from my brother's.
Oh, that's
that
very
way.
convenient. It's all about you. I get it.
So my brother can take us to lunch. Hello. Did you Louis Casamayor, George Placencia, lunch for the commissioner and myself on Thursdays. Thank you. Well, I guess that's it. I'm good.
All right.
I loved it. I knew this was going to be great. I knew she was going to be great. It's inspiring. Yeah, it's like inspiring. I leave here inspired now to keep being a do-gooder. I was going to leave you after this episode, but now I can't.
Now
I'm going to the zoo.
Go to the zoo.
We're going to the zoo, and we're going to eat a poop emoji cookie unless you want one of the chocolate chip ones.
You should totally try some. These are
excellent. We will.
I tried that one last time.
All right, thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.
See you later.
Oh, thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week. Amber, you count me down because you know me. I'll say something inappropriate before you tell me we're out. I don't want to do that again. Maybe I'll eat a cookie. That way to put something in my mouth. What do you think?
No, don't.